Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Hope you all have been having a great day. I am recouping from yesterday. I had a evening out with the family, and that took more out of me than I thought. To be quite honest. And of course, I just needed time to recoup. That was a lot. But without getting into all the details of that, I am back. We are live because we are doing a reading on Gabriel Guevara and Nicole Wallace. If you don't know these two actors, they are a part of, at least from my introduction of them, as far as I know, they were introduced to me through Mia Culpa. It is a Prime, an Amazon Prime show. I think it was something dealing with like racing and, somebody coming from one side of the tracks. Basically, to me, from what I gathered, because to be honest, I have not seen the film, so basically from what I gather from it, it's basically like a Hispanic Fast and Furious, which isn't even doing that justice. That explanation doesn't even give it justice, because if you know, some of the characters that were introduced on Fast and Furious were very much Hispanic. It just wasn't Spanish throughout the whole movie. But that's kind of like a lazy way to explain it. Probably a very off-color way to explain it, but that's the best I can do for you all. Outside of that, I know a lot of people were going crazy about them because people were really interested in whether or not these two were in a relationship. And I did a reading on them previously. It's probably been like a year or two now since my last reading I did on Gabriel Guevara and Nicole Wallace. And so people are trying to follow up because I believe if the second film hasn't already come out, a lot of people are getting antsy and wanting to know what's going to be coming up with the next film. So I figured, why not follow up? It's been requested. People have been wanting to know. So this is a fan request. So I am here to deliver. I am pretty much winging it right now because I'm trying to debate. I'm trying to see what the feel of the cards that I want to pull here. No deck is kind of like popping out to me at this point. Maybe I should do this one. Usually if nothing is like popping out to me, I usually go for the Mercedes or the Tarot Oppositions, just because I'm like, what's jumping out? Try to pull what's jumping out to me at the time. So, I'm not gonna lie, this reading might be a little different. I'm just like looking for the cards at this point. Like, what do I want to do? I have to rearrange my office too, so I just moved around some of the my cards. So I need to get it together. I need to figure out what I want to do. Should I use a bunch of tarot cards maybe this time? I don't know. Should I use all tarot? No, we're gonna use this deck. I haven't used this one in a minute. We're gonna use these two. Okay, it's coming together, you all. It's coming together. So here's my oracle decks I'm going to use for the day. This is the sign of the times, as you can see here. The other one is not in a box. I had it in a case. It's something like I have to look it up. It's something like the Mystic Witch Oracle or something like that. And then I told you this one, the Tarot Oppositions. Sometimes people ask just because they want the cards for themselves later. So I just kind of try to give it up front. I will add it to the description box afterwards. So if you want to know or see the deck or review it or whatever, it will be in the description box post the live recording. So just wave this over some smoke really quick to cleanse it. I like to cleanse my decks a little bit before I just kind of get in there, kind of reset them. It's setting the intentions for the whole reading. So again, this is just a follow up on Gabriel Guevara and Nicole Wallace. If you do have any questions you would like to put down in the chat, please be sure to go ahead and add them. Because as I stated, I'm not like a big follower of this. So if there's something going on, please ask down in the chat. Divine Goddess, she said. Oh, my Coco Jones reading is true. What was true about the Coco Jones reading? I feel like I said a lot. I say a lot of stuff in my readings, and I don't remember all of the stuff that I say because sometimes I'm just like channeling. So I'm always happy to hear when people can tell me whether I was right or not on something, like if you can provide the updates, because I don't always hear all the gossip. And thanks for stopping in, Divine Goddess, and for watching the Coco Jones reading as well. Again, if you have any questions per se that you want asked in this reading, go ahead and drop them in the chat. So then, ooh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to enlarge this again because I shrunk it for yesterday's reading. So I'm just trying to get it back even. So yeah, if you have any questions you want to ask about this, go ahead and ask away. Drop it in the chat, and I will try to get to them accordingly in the timely manner. Oh, he wants a family woman, and Coco ain't it. I would feel like she will want a family, but you know, sometimes those Leos, if they feel, you have to make a Leo feel really comfortable. I feel like in a relationship, I feel like I could say this because Leos, I kind of think of them as our like, because I'm an Aries, I kind of think of Leos as like our older siblings. Um, Leos, you have to make them feel very wanted and comfortable in a relationship. They have to feel like they are the moon, stars, the grass, and everything else above before they feel like, at least typically the Leos I've met, before they're just like, oh yeah, I'll give you a baby. It's one thing when it's just like intimacy. It's another thing when you talking kids with Leos. You got to walk on hot coals for Leos. So I believe in my last reading on Gabriel Guevara and Nicole Wallace, I pretty much stated, I gathered that these two were not in any kind of romantic relationship. I kind of got not quite the opposite, but it was pretty much quite the opposite for Nicole. Nicole was pretty much just riding the wave and was enjoying this whole situation for what it was and for the popularity. I also was correct in saying that there was going to be some kind of like negative press that was going to come out about Gabriel Rivera in regards to maybe like SA allegations or him being arrested or something like that. And I remember hearing the story that he was like arrested and followed up for something that happened, I want to say either in Paris or somewhere in South America. I don't remember. It was a while ago. And that indeed did come true. And then I haven't heard peep else about these two. So I'm interested to know what's kind of been going on for them as well. So I'm going to tap into their energy. I think I'm going to pop in and we're going to do an energy reading on Gabrielle first. Or Gabriel, however people want to pronounce it. I think I'm going to tap into his energy first and see what's going on, because his was the most interesting to me, especially since he had that whole falling out. So let's see here. Let's see what I get for Gabrielle. I'm not going to count those these time, just because I kind of like missed up the shuffling there. Just kind of want to tap into Gabrielle's energy. Okay. Things seem to still be a little murky here for my mens. So I have the Eight of Swords, and it is coming up in reverse. I don't think I have to cover that up, because some of my cards I have to warn if you are somebody who's, sensitive to like slight nudity or something like that. Some of my decks do have that. I try to cover them as I catch them. Most of the time it goes over my head. I'm not even paying attention. So excuse me ahead of time. Then I also have the Death card here, and that is also coming up in reverse. And we have the Page of Pentacles also coming up in reverse. He's feeling trapped and bound by something. He's feeling trapped by something here, and he feels like he's stuck, can't move on. There's something about maybe a change or something coming through that maybe isn't quite able to happen or be carried through. Maybe some kind of like shedding of skin, shedding of scenery, place, person, something like that. Some old habits that you want to kind of like get rid of, or people still uh, prescribe to you, even though that's like not you anymore. Maybe it's something that's coming up. And then I have the Page of Pentacles, which is also coming up in reverse. And to me, that is somebody, maybe he's not the best with his money, but the opportunities for money, for or some kind of material gain or whatnot is there for him, but maybe he doesn't, maybe he kind of squanders them, or they have been squandered because he's not maybe making the right choices, or something is kind of like blocking. Because I would say with this, because the Page of Pentacles is usually something dealing with a study, and so usually books to me bring about knowledge. They kind of represent knowledge or knowing something, being informed, some kind of study, maybe you having to settle down and learn something. So maybe there's something here he quite doesn't understand, or he squanders away or put away. Oh, but wait, my candle is flickering. I think I'm onto something. Maybe it's something he doesn't know. It could also probably point to maybe it's not him per se, but maybe, oftentimes celebrities have accountants and things like that, and that is nothing new in the industry. You trust somebody who's good with money to take care of it for you, and yet they're the ones that's stealing from you or doing something wrong. Um, Queen of Pentacles. Do we have people depending on him for money? Why is all this money stuff coming up for him? For the underlying energies, we have the Queen of Pentacles. I would say the good thing about this is that it is coming up in the upright. So maybe there is somebody here who has his best interest at heart, or at least to the extent within his best interest is in their best interest. The Queen of Pentacles could probably deal with his agency. It could deal with something personal, like his family, friends, potential lover, something like that there. And then we also have the Ten of Pentacles, but it's coming up in reverse. So, okay, I'm starting to think this is probably more so personal. It could be work though too, or business. I would say, I won't say work, business. And then we also have the Ten of Cups in reverse. Oh, he has like the good family, happiness, joy, legacy cards. They're both coming up in reverse. It's not boding well. Let's see what else is coming up here for Mr. Gabriel. All right. Can I get some more clarity on why this Page of Swords is appearing here for Gabriel? Okay, what was that flipped over? Fortune teller. He's worried about the outcome of something. That makes me feel love. You're worried about something in the future, moving forward, taking a step forward on something. Maybe he's kind of hindering the progress himself because he is afraid of what the outcome is, or not knowing what the outcome will be. There is maybe a lack of assurance on his end that makes him nervous about this. Let's see what's cleared on this Death card. Okay. Oh, I have two cards here. I'm going to throw them back in. I want one card today. Death, the inventor and the poet. So yeah, because that don't even make sense to me. The inventor and the poet. Unless it's speaking to like his lack of creativity, the lack of imagination, the lack of belief. Okay, we have detective. Is he still dealing with those legal issues? Is it still some legal issues he's dealing with here? I mean, it could be that, and if it's not legal issues in the sense of that crime that he was accused of a while back, maybe there's something here with like a lawsuit, or something with like contracts dealing with his business. Because I was saying we got with the Queen of Pentacles and then the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, along with the Page of Pentacles. Maybe there's something in the back, behind the scenes here. There's not a deal or some kind of agreement being signed on and agreed upon. Maybe something about split percentages of something, maybe that isn't finalized. Okay, what is this here? The angel and the peacemaker pops up here. Oh, what is he wanting a peaceful resolution to that is not happening? And because he's afraid that maybe it's not coming to a peaceful resolution, that's what's giving him anxiety. Yeah, the Eight of Swords kind of makes me think of anxiety. The siren. Siren, I feel like you're being lured into something, a call of something possibly not being what it is, or maybe somebody is luring him into something. Because I remember the Page of Pentacles is sometimes dealing with knowledge as well, and this is something about money. So maybe somebody is it's like lulling him into a false sense of security. The angel is coming up still. We also have the survivor coming up in reverse and the healer. What is bro going through? What is my boy going through over here? And it kind of, to me, it feels like paralyzed in action at this point. Like because you're so afraid of what's happening, you aren't doing anything. You aren't even trying to kind of like, what they call it, action paralysis or something like that. Oh, and you know something else? I'm sorry, this is off of this. I happened to look back over the chat and I remember we was talking about Coco Jones. Why did I just hear that she dated, or possibly it was rumored she dated, who's that guy that Megan Thee Stallion is dating right now? I think it starts with a K. Kelly. It's not Kelsey. Mm, but she was rumored to have been dating him too. I said not Coco. Always some Disney girl. They be surprising you. Focus. Clarity. What is my boy going through here? Let's see. Rainbow Hope. Yeah, something is worrying him. I could see him biting on his nails or something. Peeling the skin. What's another nervous habit people do? Pinching at his eyelashes. I don't know. Something guy that shaking his leg, bouncing his leg, however you want to call it. Like there's something of some concern here that he's afraid he's not going to be able to see himself through. Didn't I tell you I'd be late on this? Look, it's been on there for too long already. I'd be late to the party. I don't be thinking about it. Healing. See, this is the second time he has something about healing. What is he not moving on from? What is he still harmed by? Did he go through some medical scare? Is he going through something medical, maybe? A health scare of some sorts? Is making it hard for him to focus on the things that he need to, or he should, or he wants to focus on. It's like taking up all his time. It's taking up condos in his head at this point. Because look, I wonder what's going to be happening. I am distracted. It's other things on my mind. And we also have, what is this one? Infinity, unlimited potential. You aren't living up to your full potential because you're worried about something else going on here. Somebody around him may be dealing with some kind of health issues, him himself. I don't know what it could be. It could be legal. I mean, it could be medical. It could be legal. I'm not sure. I don't have a clear beat on it, but it definitely feels like I'm just distracted. I'm unfocused. I'm not, I won't say unfocused, but I'm not in this moment. Like, I'm not staying here in this moment. Like, anytime I'm able to, like, pivot or think of something else, that's what I'm thinking about. These, my dear sister, are called the Signs of Signs, okay? And I love this deck. And I have to shout this out because it's by one of the few black creators of like tarot decks out here. Crystal Banner, I'll put it up there a little longer. No, this is not sponsored, but I figured I like to say that. I can say that for once. But I have to shout that out. But yeah. Mm. Okay, let's see here. Let's look at Nicole's cards. Let's see what I get for Nicole. Nicolas. I don't know if you guys ever seen that commercial, but okay, let's see what's coming up for Nicole because she kind of came off like imp energy to me. She seemed like a person I wouldn't want to cross paths with. All right, let's see. Okay, what is this kind of sticking out here? The Seven of Wands in reverse. Let's see if it's meant to come out. We're going to put it back in the middle of the deck. Okay, we have you. Ooh. Why is both of they? Is the project stalled? Is the project stalled and they're not able to work on other things? Because why both of their cards is coming up in all this reverse? Okay, we're gonna go with that one. I'm gonna tell you why I'm laughing in a minute. I'm gonna show it to you. But I want to focus on her cards first. Okay, so we have first and foremost. Well, I feel like I'm saying that wrong. First and foremost, yes, that sounds better. The devil card is coming up in reverse. Sometimes they can speak to addictions, repetitive behavior, negative behavior. Uh, Sometimes I kind of like feeling like, think of Capricorn energy. You probably placing some kind of tough restriction on yourself here that probably don't need to be there. Like at any point in time, you can walk out the door, but for whatever reason, you feel like you have a point to prove or you need to make this happen, and you don't need to let that happen right now, Gretchen. Let it go. Move on. What is some other, yeah, I just think of like negative behavior or like bad habits that you keep up with. You know they're bad, but you keep up with it anyway. You continue to do it. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles. Funny, he had the Page of Pentacles. This is coming up as the Knight of Pentacles. I wonder if this could also be referring to the same person, but maybe in his purview, he sees it as someone who is younger or maybe childish or not experienced, and she sees it as somebody who's a bit more like high-headed in a sense when it comes to money, because again, these are both like earth sign energies, your Capricorns, your Virgos, and Taurus. um but except when it comes to the Knight, this is somebody who is all about action. They're all about moving. Mind you, the Knight of Pentacles is one of the slower moving knights. So maybe they kind of go into it with a bit more intentionality to it. They feel like they thought it through, or it was something that benefited them in some sense. But they're just kind of like, screw everybody else. I kind of think of it as like I feel like I was going to say Taurus, but I feel like all the earth signs in their negative energy or their low energy could be very much like this, where it's like, you ever seen somebody, well, I'm gonna get mine, you gonna have to figure out how to get yours, and they think the playing field is level for everybody. It's like, no, boo boo, that's not how this goes. Like, yeah, maybe you able to make money, maybe you hustle, but maybe I can't hustle because I don't have the connections, or I don't have $5 to put into this to kind of get started on a business, or maybe I'm 2 cents from being homeless. It's something like that. Or maybe it's like, it's the people who have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps kind of attitude. And it's like, but I don't even have boots. What you're talking about? I think of that when I see the Knight of Pentacles. They're like, well, I'm already putting this stuff into play, and they telling you to come on and catch up, but they're not taking the time to be like, oh, I need to make sure I'm reaching out and taking care of the people that's on the side of me that's coming up on a come up too. I'm thinking very much for self. That's kind of like the energy I think of. So maybe this is pertaining to the same person, since Pentacles is coming up for both of them. But I'm really wondering if it's probably dealing with somebody who's like ahead of the project, because as I stated, when I first seen these two cards fall out, I'm wondering if there's some kind of halt on the project or the promotion or the drop of it, or something. Is it supposed to be a third film? I don't know. Are they tied up in some kind of contractual agreement where they are like, I kind of think of like a non-compete clause where you can't do some other kind of work because you're being held up by this. I'm not sure what that could be pertaining to. And then we have the Nine of Cups. Hers is coming up in the upright, which fortunately is a good thing. Typically the Nine of Cups to me is wishes being fulfilled. Like, you kind of put something out there. It's like your manifestations coming true. Sometimes I also think of like very like independent energy as well. Sometimes that could be good for people, sometimes it's not. It all depends. It just kind of feels like your wishes, you're feeling happy, and things are like coming together. However, what I was laughing at was because underneath this deck I have the Four of Wands in reverse. And although this isn't funny, when I seen this card, it was like soon after I was finishing up saying, okay, well, is the movie stopped or something here? Because the Four of Wands is usually dealing with matters of the home, of heart, of passion. With it coming up reverse makes me feel like I am unhappy about something. I don't like home. I don't like where this thing is going. Maybe I'm not able to take care of home. Um, Sometimes it deals with like a partnership, matrimony, those kind of things. I don't know if maybe recently she's gotten into a relationship, but last time when I was doing this reading on her, I didn't kind of get that energy that maybe she was involved with anyone. She seemed like she was kind of just out playing the field, but things can change very much. And then I also have the Magician here in the upright. And this is where I say, Nicole, I have to tip my hat off to her, because she does seem like the type of person, I don't know her astrology or anything like that, she seems like the type of person who's very much a go-getter. I have to make things happen. And I feel like that's what this Magician card for me pulls up for her. She always comes up as like a fiery, independent person. Like, I don't want to say by any means necessary, but she kind of gives me like, by hook or crook, rob Peter to pay Paul, I would turn $15 from 15 cents. Like, she gives me that like hustler, very, again, just by any means necessary kind of energy. And I don't want to say it like she probably would do anything to get where she want to be, but I think you kind of have that attitude when you're in spaces like Hollywood or in acting, where it's pretty much a dog eat dog world. I think she is very much a product of her environment in that sense. And then we also have the Six of Pentacles. But this time, but for her, sorry, it's coming up upright. All of his pretty much came up in reverse. So, to me, the Six of Pentacles, mind you, is kind of like the reciprocal energy, maybe paying back a favor. Maybe she's calling in favors to people. Maybe people owe her favors. So she's not as overwhelmed or overburdened by this project stallment. I'm just going to refer to it as that from now on moving forward, unless I get something different. And something makes me feel like there's some kind of stalling with the project or something, or a stalling with in their career or something. So to me, it doesn't feel like she's as hard up about it, because maybe again she's networking with people, she's calling in favors, she's returning favors to people, and very much being like a woman of her word. Again, it's kind of giving that hustler energy. Okay, let's see here if I can get more clarity. The warrior, as in not the. I know I can't talk. It's all right. I've heard this all my life. I can't help it. Okay. Like worry worked energy, not somebody who's out here fighting. That kind of warrior. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna put these back and I'm gonna see what actually pops out. So we have the Alchemist, Hopeful. Didn't he also get Hopeful too? And the Protector. It could just be word association, but when I seen the Protector, I don't know if you all heard Protector by Beyonce, the song she dedicates to Rumi. That made me think of that. But let's see here. The Protector, Hopeful, and Alchemist. The Alchemist is just like another form of the Magician here. So again, to me, I wonder if that is her. Hopeful, the Nine of Cups. Where is this Protector coming from? Does she have some body of influence maybe in her back pocket? And when I say in her back pocket, I don't mean it in the traditional way some people mean of like, oh, you paying something or you doing a little something for a piece of change. I mean, like, it's somebody that in times of need or in times of wants or, connection of some sort, you can reach out to this person and call them. They're in your back pocket like your phone. That's what I mean. I have to clarify that because I understand sometimes I use certain terminology that it could mean something else to some other people, and that's not what I'm saying. Told you I'm a natural contrarian. Everybody has an agreed upon meaning, and I'm going to just change it and tell you no, that's not what I meant. The Manifester. Okay, I have to go back in this video. What did I get for him when we were talking about the Pentacles person? Hold on one second. I have to go back. If Twitch will work. Because, Twitch acts like it doesn't like me. Half the time. Who's it sticking out to the side? The dawn. that hopeful came out again, and game changer as well. I'm gonna leave that off to the side, but I want you all to take note. The fortune teller comes up for her too. What are they worried about? They both, and I want to be fair because I could just be drawing conclusions here, but just because, what they call it, just because these are coincidences doesn't mean that these are necessarily stemming from the same thing here. I want to put that out there, but to me, I find it quite interesting that they both get the fortune teller that's kind of being involved in their readings here, and of kind of just like not knowing the future or wanting to predict the future, or like some kind of concern in regards to that. It doesn't surprise me we get the hopeful on the wish fulfillment here. Maybe her wishes haven't quite been fulfilled, but maybe she's hoping they will be fulfilled, and maybe she's hoping if she believes strong enough it'll happen. That could probably be the energy here too. I also find it funny, she has a lot of like mystic cards here too, between the manifestor, the hopeful, and the fortune teller. Sorry, I guess I had it off screen. That's pretty interesting. Okay, you know what? Don't worry about it, Twitch, because every time I go on Twitch, it'd be like, oh, your stuff isn't live, and then I'll go back to it and it's live. It was streaming the entire time. So I'm gonna go to YouTube. They don't film me. Okay, so for him, for the Pentacles, I got the Siren, being lured to something, the Manifester. Do they both feel like they are okay? Do they feel like they were lied to about something? Maybe it's somebody who was very I just think of somebody, maybe this isn't her, maybe I'm confusing the energies, but I wonder is the concern about somebody who could sell raid to a cockroach. And they're just very sweet with their words. They can make you really believe in some stuff without it ever being there. Think of kind of like, I'm picturing that girl who made, what was it, millions, if not billions of dollars. She looks like a female version of Steve Jobs. I want to say she was always wearing a black shirt. She was selling people on some kind of pharmaceutical thing, and she ended up getting arrested. I think she had a bunch of investors. I believe it was something on Hulu, if you can still see it. I believe Amanda Seyfried played the character. That's who I'm picturing in my mind right now. Okay, and the next underlying card is the Visionary, and then the Inventor. That was something that came off for him too, and I just kind of put it back, not thinking about it. What is it with this lofty mental thought here? This like, who are y'all dealing with? Something they, I don't want to say they feel shady, but I don't think their heart is in the right place. Okay, let's see. What am I getting? What additional information am I getting here? All right, sunflower, action needed. And I think she is taking action. I don't think she's being as inactive, or I would say as unfocused as Gabrielle. For some reason, she always seems like she comes through as like the more durable, like more durable person. Like she can kind of rock and roll with the punches, and he kind of comes off as like, I don't want to say like the littlest inconvenience could throw him off his game, but I think he very much feels like, if there's a few things that don't work out the way he wants, it kind of throws everything out the window for him. But okay, we have water, surrender. She's not giving up. It is coming up in reverse. I don't think she's not somebody who's gonna let other people dictate her outcome, or she's going to try as best she can to not let somebody else dictate what her outcome or who she is. Okay. It's funny. Didn't this sunflower try to come out earlier? I'm gonna pull it back because it flipped over in my hand. So I'm gonna put it on back. Move it on up. Move it on up. A mirror reflection coming up in reverse. And then sunflower action. Reflection, reflection. Okay, I'm probably gonna mess up this explanation because it's more scientific based than what I usually do. So stay with me here. So you know how typically people say you are holding up a mirror to other people, so therefore you're reflecting back to them all that they are. To me, I feel like this is more so like people is trying to hold up a mirror to her and reflect what she is, but it kind of just like you know how lights can bounce off of mirrors, they don't exactly get absorbed in and just it's I know this is going the wrong way. I'm just trying to explain. Basically she maybe the way I can say is like she's like a two-way mirror. Typical mirrors you can see yourself. With her it's like she's a two-way mirror. You look in there and you're like is it something else? I see myself but it's also something else there on the other side of it, but you just don't know it. That's probably like the best way I could say it because that's what I'm picturing in my head. I don't know exactly what that is pertaining to, but I'm just trying to explain to you what I'm getting. Yes, two-way mirror like. Okay, is this somebody who okay, going back to that Knight of Pentacles, is the person that's a frustration to her that's causing like this uh rockiness when it comes to her career or whatever, or at least when it comes to her finances, her material building here. Is this somebody who is like very similar to her in some sort of way? So she can spot the bull essentially, but maybe she gives them an easier time because she's like, you know what, I don't quite blame you because I would probably do the same thing if it was me, but at the same time, B better have my money. That's kind of like with the in the sunflower action. And like I said before, she always gives me like hustler energy. Like nothing is going to stop her. She is not gonna roll over and make this easy for you. See, look, moon emotion. She's like, I don't feel one way or another about it. I just know I better get what I want. This is going back to the Nine of Pentacles. Hope. He had the same thing as well. Protection. See, some of these witchy cards that I'm getting make me feel like, are y'all dealing with somebody who deals with like brujeria or something? Y'all dealing with a bruja? Now watch me start getting hot. um, I don't know who this person is. Let's see if we can get some clarity. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. First, I'm gonna see what is going on with them two and see if it's them feeling that way towards each other. My foot started itching. I tell you that. Shh, I don't think they see each other outside of like just doing this movie. The way these two slid out so smooth. Two of Swords and the Six of Cups. This makes me feel like accepting. I don't know why, like accepting one's fate. Um, and again, with the Six of Pentacles, typically this makes you think of like childhood, past memories, past connections. Um, yeah. Bubby, can you stop chewing on your paws for a second? No, absolutely not. I guess because he's like distracting me. Stop. Three of Swords. Feeling delivered, free from something. It's still some of the same energy I was getting for him. These two do not seem to have, like, it's surprising to me that they have any kind of on-screen chemistry. I'm gonna believe y'all on this because I haven't seen the movie to judge myself, but the lack of like chemistry between these two. See, last time it felt like maybe he had some interest in her. This time around, I'm not getting that at all. It feels like it is DED. Okay. um. So funny enough, she comes up as the Hermit in reverse. Typically, the Hermit is kind of like you being a recluse, you withdrawing into oneself, you kind of being separated. But with it coming up in reverse, that usually means that this was kind of put on you. So I wonder if he like shut her out, or if she is person, or if she is. Why am I struggling with this word? Basically, she's doing purposefully. Yes, that's the word. Jesus Christ, she's kind of like purposefully shutting him out. Um, because she's like worried about her own stuff. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he cried to her or something like that. I don't know. It kind of just feels like I don't want to deal with it. Like figure it out. Stop looking at me to kind of like help you through it. I don't know. Again, him coming up as a Three of Swords. Typically, the Three of Swords is like heartbreak, um, things of feelings of unforgiveness. Maybe betrayal could probably be like another word, but it's coming up in the upright to me. So to me, it feels like I'm accepting of the heartbreak. I wonder if she turned him down. Did she turn him down? So I don't think it's each other that's this Pentacles, because I'm getting something totally different with the energies with them too. I think this may be something dealing with the movie. I was trying to see if maybe they saw each other as like the page or the Knight of Pentacle, but I think it may be somebody dealing with the filming company or the agency or whatever. I don't know if they're signed to the same company. But yeah. I don't think it's them. This feels like I'm getting something I probably shouldn't be at this point. To me, this feels like this is kind of like a leftover from the first reading where it seemed like he had feelings for her and she didn't, and maybe he got burnt or his feelings got hurt in this or something like that, and now they're just kind of trying to figure out their footing with one another, how to kind of just let bygones be bygones and move forward. Let's see here what I got for the underlying energy. I have the Four of Cups. Yeah. The King of Wands. Does she not like his playboy ways? And now they're trying to figure out how to move forward. Ew. Ew. And because this is showing children, I also had the Sun in reverse too. So I still don't think they have, before it felt like the chemistry was, it was a bit more playful, exciting. This time around, to me, it feels like chagrin, rejection. That's why I keep feeling like, did she reject him? Did he admit his feelings? I kind of don't want to pull on this because this is not where I wanted to go with this, but in case you all want to see this, I'm going to move forward and see what else comes up. Ooh, okay. Because this is not what I was trying to gather. I wanted to figure out who this Page of Pentacles was. Look, the detective. I think that stuff, the allegation rumors, made her really put a halt to all that. I think that made her be like, look, the healer. He's healed and trying to move on from that. Maybe it's the embarrassment or something. Here. What is the energy between these two? Oh my God. Why did this fly all the way across the room? Please hold. The balancer. I find that funny. We're trying to find our balance. We're trying to figure things out. We're trying to move forward. We're trying to find our footing with one another. We're trying to get back into our chemistry. We're trying to get into our bag. I did not have to pull out that voice. Affirmation. Okay. Well, y'all ain't have to be rude about that. I feel like that card was for me. Like, duh, biatch. This is what happened. No, they ain't. Because look, I'm not getting anything else as I'm shuffling. Y'all would have something else popping out by now. Nothing else? Okay. I'm going to do one more little shuffle here. Let's see. Nothing. Okay. What was this? Destiny. And look, that medic card was underneath that as well. Okay, this is not what I wanted, but for you all who are interested in kind of like what they think about each other or what the chemistry is like between them right now, it's toast. I don't know what word you are. Okay, I'm trying to figure out who was this Pentacles. Who's this Pentacles person? This Knight, this Page of Pentacles that they are thinking of. This Page of Pentacles. I'm gonna try something new here and see if I get a bead. See what I get. I have quite a few cards pop out. Okay, so now I'm getting the Knight of Wands in reverse, the Seven of Wands. These came out next. King of Swords, Queen of Wands, and then the Seven of Pentacles. High-headed temper. Maybe someone who doesn't fight fair, someone who is very cold and callousing with their words. Notice all of these are coming up in reverse too. All of these are coming up in reverse. None of them are coming up in the upright. Somebody who uses and abuses their power, their beauty, their connection, their attractiveness. I think like succubus energy. And then you have the Seven of Pentacles, the lack of work, the drive. Okay. Let me separate this because maybe I'm getting both of theirs at once. I was just trying to figure out who's this Page of Pentacles. Let's see. I was quick that time. Okay, so we have the Lovers. So I'm trying to pick up on if maybe I'm going to get some similar energies between the two to see if I can narrow in on who the Page slash Knight of Pentacles is. So I'm pulling for Gabriel to kind of hone in on the Page of Pentacles energy from his side, and then I'm going to pull another 3 cards to hone in on the Knight of Pentacles from Nicole's side, just so you all know what I'm doing. so I can maybe hone in on who or what this person is, whatever this is. This is something new for me, so excuse me if I get it wrong. Seven of Pentacles is coming up again. Okay. Up. Okay. I know y'all can't see me, but the way I just yawned, I don't usually yawn like that doing cards, especially at 9:07 o'clock. Ooh, what is that trying to allude to? I did, you know what? I did say like succubus energy. Somebody is draining. Maybe that's what it is. Something that is very draining, stressful. This is sticking out to the side. It's the Hierophant. Nicole's cards are kind of coming slow. They're kind of. Okay. That Three of Cups there. I have a lot of cards flipping over in the deck. They're not hitting the table. Oh, okay, here we go. That Two of Wands. Oh, why did these two come out again together? But for her this time. Mind you, the underlying cards here. Do I have something else on my table I could use? What can I use? What can I use? Jesus. Okay. I'm gonna do this. We have the World card. Um, Page of Wands this time coming up in the upright, and the Emperor. Hmm. So funny enough, the Page of Pentacles popped out again for Gabrielle. The Lover, somebody you are not in harmony with. Has there been talks about replacing him? Maybe in the film, or maybe like writing off his character or something like that. Is that why he's worried? Maybe there's been talks or conversations about that. Maybe that's also where kind of like the legal ramifications of coming in here. That's probably where some of the halt or the hesitancy around the next film. Again, I don't know if it's been announced for the second one to come out or anything like that. But I wonder if there's been some back and forth or what they call it, some discussions maybe that were had about probably replacing him or writing off his character or something. Maybe that's the concern here. He's concerned about not having work or being out of work, being replaced, being forgotten. Mm. Maybe he don't really have a leg to stand on to argue, because if he is indeed still going through and dealing with that lawsuit or those allegations that came up against him, I wonder if that is making it hard for him to have a leg to stand on. He can't say for sure if he'll get out of it or not, or that he didn't do it. Just because it's a legal matter. He has to kind of like deal with that first. And then in regards to her with the Knight of Pentacles, it's funny we have the Three of Cups here. I wonder if she, again, this Pentacles person from her end, from Nicole's end, it feels like I almost kind of get like an admiration is the word, maybe there is a sense of attractiveness or something there. Maybe there's something of just kind of like, okay, I see you in a sense of like, I understand. I would, if again, if the shoe was on the other foot, I would be doing the same thing. But it's kind of like, okay, well, how do I move forward or go forward from here? I'm going to still do what I have to do. Things are still working out for me, fine, cool, and dandy. But, maybe there's still just like a little hesitant to see if maybe how it's going to look if she continues forward in the main person she started this out with is gone. I don't know if maybe she started to have some kind of attraction or maybe just a respect. Somebody she was comfortable working with, and now there's a sense of concern. I don't know if y'all seen how my screen was getting blurry out of nowhere. I don't know why that was happening. It seemed like something was floating over the screen. Mm-mm. I rebuke it. Then we also have the Six of Cups in the upright again. This is kind of like going back to happy childhood memories, something dealing with childhood. I'm not sure why that would be coming up. Does she have some kind of relationship with this person? Or is it just she feels like maybe she has to be loyal to, and this is a reach, but I'm trying to figure out what it is. Does she feel like she maybe owes some kind of allegiance to Gabrielle because they started off together? I'm not sure what that is. But she's also like, no love lost. Like, I don't really care one way or the other. And I don't want her to come off cold, but it's just kind of like, put yourself in her shoes. If you find out somebody, your coworker or something that you've been sharing a cubicle with, you've been working on the assembly line with, whatever the case may be, maybe this person picked up extra shifts or something for you to cover for you one time, whatever the case may be. This is somebody you worked with, you had a good relationship with them, and then you hear something about, I don't know, they did something illegal, whatever the case may be, whatever that line may be for you, they did something that you don't quite approve of, or it makes you feel like eerie, or put the hairs on the back of your neck up, but you're still like, but this is still that person. I can't coincide. I can't, in my head, I can't put what was said or done in that situation on a person that I know in this particular situation, in this work situation. It's kind of like my to be fair, I don't want her to come across as like some kind of cold, callous, very narcissistic person, because that's not what I'm getting. I don't feel like that's what is going on here. Okay, let's see if I can get some clarity. Shadow. What does it say on the back? Making a friend and an ally of your shadow side is necessary for becoming our authentic self, a key element of true success. Okay. See, here we go. The inventor is, but this time it's coming up in reverse for him. I just keep feeling like he does not have the best view on this person, this Page of Pentacles energy. The wick. You couldn't have fooled me coming up in reverse. You tried it. What does it say? Be aware of your reputation, your influence, and your power to create, preserve, or destroy. Powerful women are often misunderstood. Is it a woman they're working with? Is that why she's not so quick to like throw this girl to the fire? Is it like, is she a girl? Is that probably why he had such a problem with this person? Is it a woman? Is he sexist? This is making me feel like that case is a little true now, Gabrielle, if that's the case. If that's true. Look, resolute. She's like, I'm accepting of it. It is what it is. Yeah, her, if this is the same person from what I'm intuitively getting here, if this, and I would understand why he like sees this person as like you a small fry kind of energy when you see Page of Pentacles, because it's usually Page, Knight, Queen, King here in the hierarchical order of things. He see this person as somebody who's like a small rung on the ladder, and she's like more respective of this person, but also very much aware of like this is where they fall in the hierarchical ladder, but this person still deserves my respect. It's kind of like, say you have your manager, your supervisor, and then it's like maybe your CEO or whatever. Maybe this person is like the supervisor. So she's like, I still can admire and respect your position, but I also know that there's somebody still ahead of you. Kind of energy with you being kind of the Knight of Pentacles on Nicole Wallace's end of things. But he kind of see this person as like, you another employee like me, you a manager. You ain't really nothing. You got several other people over you. And I don't know who this person is because I don't want to discredit them, but that's just kind of like what that feels like to me. Is it a woman? Oh my God. Is it a woman? I don't know who. Is it an earth sign woman too? That clearly would explain it. If it's like, I haven't seen a Taurus leader at work, but I very much have worked under Virgos and I have worked under Capricorns before. Cap Capricorn women in leadership, cool, nice people until you start effing up or you purposely go after them, and then it's your head. In my experience, I'll say that I want to be clear here. I feel like Virgo women in leadership, I don't care what you do, everything you do is wrong. Because think of typical Virgos in everyday life. They are perfectionists. They feel like everybody, hey, if I got it, everybody should understand it. And not to discredit them, they are very smart people. They see things in a very analytical kind of sense. And Virgos also tend to have kind of like that nurturing thing, but it's kind of like if you start embarrassing them, or you start making like small mistakes, or if they just see like you not being what they want for a certain team or for a certain skill set, you become obsolete to them. And I can see very much on his end how that could brush you the wrong way. Um, and I can see how on Nicole's end, that is something to be admired in seeing a woman who is very much informed and know her position of power. Somebody you can very much learn from as well. Maybe that's where the admiration energy is coming from with the Three of Cups. So I think this is, I don't know if it's like the script writer or the director or producer, maybe some executive at Prime or something over there. Whoever this woman is, I can see very much how she can be loved and hated if this is the same person that I'm getting here. And I think that's where the hang up is. And I still will stand by if there is some kind of hang up, there's some kind of discordance going on with this cast, especially between Nicole and Gabrielle. But I think there's still a thing of like, should we make this work or not? But I think there is definitely I think on Nicole's end, I feel like there's a bit more. I don't want to. I feel like on Nicole's end, there's a bit of a hang up because she's like, good riddance to kind of like Gabrielle. If what I'm getting again is to be true, this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. If it is to be true, then maybe there's some talks going on about maybe replacing or writing off his character, and her having another kind of like male leads in this show or whatever, or movie I should say, that's going on. But she probably also feel like she owes some kind of sort of allegiance to Gabriel, or she can't necessarily knock him because he was a nice person to her or whatever the case may be. It's kind of like that stick with the devil you know, then the devil you don't kind of energy. But she's also like, I respect you all's decision because I still want my work at the end of the day. I still gotta work, bills still gotta be paid. Um, Sorry, you did that to yourself. That was before I met you. I don't owe you anything for that. Mm. Okay, I think it is alluding to the same person. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's alluding to the same person. All right, let's see what we getting up here. What's the ending results here? That's the remaining energy, last energy, insights. I'll look. What you want to provide me here? Let's see. See, wonder. And maybe this person is hard to figure out key opportunity. I think, yeah. I wonder is this person also being kind of like, look, disruption. I think this is all because of Gabrielle. Sorry, not sorry. I have to say what I think I'm getting here because right now it just seems like everything is pointing to kind of like it's your fault. To kind of like put yourself in this predicament, or at least other people feel like, hey, you put yourself in this predicament and you're making it hard for the rest of us. See, with the key opportunity, this kind of made me think of the casting director, but I doubt the casting director had that much power unless, again, this is the person who is also in charge of, like, maybe they also wear multiple hats on this production. Maybe they're also the person who's like the director or the producer or something, but they also was over casting or very much involved in the casting. Was Mia Culpa based off a book? Is it like the book writer? And this is just throwing like a monkey wrench into the plans. You don't have to wonder. You know what's going on. We've been openly talking to you about it. This does not feel like a success at this point. Or it's not going to be a success because this is like, I don't know, hitting our audience in some kind of sense. Maybe it's coloring. What this is giving me, and if you haven't been aware of what's been going on with this kind of gives me something similar to kind of like the public discord or conversation around uh, the Sandman that comes on Netflix. If you don't know, the guy, the creator of the Sandman comics or whatever, has been swept up in some not so nice acts. Let's say he seems like he could be a twin or a younger brother of Jeffrey Epstein, and people are kind of like not wanting to watch his shows. Mind you, this same creator was the writer behind Stardust. He was the original writer and creator of what is it, Good and Evil, that's on Prime. He was also the creator and writer behind, yeah, because I went down a rabbit hole. He was also the writer behind American Gods, which I love that effing show. I'm so sad it's gone. I'm kind of sad they're ending Sandman too because it's good. But this man has done a lot of good works, and people are kind of like the creativity. Don't know if we can keep supporting the artwork, you know, because it's helping fund the ego or the violations that you're acting on. It kind of brings about that kind of energy to me. It's, yeah. All right. Lastly, let's see what's going to be, because I feel like all this stuff I'm getting about this movie. Let's look and see what's going on with this movie. Let's see what's going to be the outcome of this film. If it's going to happen, is it not? Is it on the chopping block? Is there going to be some major changes coming through? Let's see. And then I'm gonna wrap it up after that. Wait, okay, I feel like these feel like that. Some of the same cards is appearing here in the same freaking way. And I shuffled and turned these cards upside down. The outcome of this movie. These are the underlying energy. Jesus. All of them are major arcanas. Okay. Let me focus on the original four I got here. So, King of Swords. I'm not gonna repeat that again. It's coming up again in reverse. There's nothing changed about that. Callous, brash, very rude. Somebody who is very much for self. Maybe somebody who purposely suppresses other people using their knowledge or power to get ahead. We have the Three of Pentacles coming up in the upright. This is speaking to some kind of collaboration, partnership. So maybe there is some deal on the table or some process or plan in place that they really want to execute. They really want to execute and carry through. It's just about getting maybe the ducks in the row here. Maybe it's still, a process still happening in some sense. Then it goes into this Knight of Pentacles again. Who is this Knight of Pentacles? Maybe is it the producer or the director? Because now I feel like I'm getting two different people here. I feel like this is the person Nicole and Gabrielle is dealing with, but maybe this is the person, again, if I was to use that analogy of maybe it's like manager, supervisor, CEO, maybe there's something here where it's like this is the CEO, this is the supervisor. Maybe their hands is tied so far and they have to move according to what this King of Swords, the CEO King of Swords is saying, and move accordingly. We also have another 3 here. So this seems like this is very much a work situation, some kind of business situation to me. The 3 of Cups, this is speaking to, again, a partnership. It could be threes a crowd here. It could be speaking to maybe a love triangle, because 3 of Cups, that's what I think of with love triangles. We are talking about this movie. So I to me it's starting to point like it's not looking good for Gabrielle. I feel like they gonna write this man off if they haven't already, because that 3 of Pentacles made me feel like we have a plan. We gonna move forward with it. I don't know. And are they fighting with the Knight? It makes me feel like with the Knight of Pentacles. Even though I got that for Nicole, I wonder, is this the slow moving thing here? Because again, the Knight of Pentacles is usually like the slower progressing moving knight here. I wonder if there's something here where like maybe his lawyers and his legal team is holding things up because they're maybe fighting the what they call it, the penal or the criminal case, but they're also fighting this case with like, no, you need to keep him in the film. This is just gonna make him look more guilty. Maybe they're trying to make some kind of case for that. But again, he doesn't quite have a leg to stand on here. Um, so maybe it's something with the negotiations. I'm not sure. Maybe there's also a thing here of maybe if they don't replace Gabrielle, maybe they just nix doing the next installment and just make a whole nother thing, and maybe Nicole will be starring in that, working with this producer or director or prime or whatever the case may be, again for another project if they can't move forward with this one. Because I very much would not be surprised if this King of Swords is very much like, oh well, they want to keep fighting us on it, F it, shred it, put out a public statement saying, you know, due to certain circumstances, we can no longer move forward with this film. We don't feel like it's the right thing to do. Blah 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 blah. We're going to go in a different direction, but we do hope to work. We do wish both of our actors and everyone, you know, who worked with us on this project. We want to give them a very much big thank you. Hope to work with you again in the future. Wishing you all future success, and we will move on accordingly. I wonder, again, I don't know if this is actually like the executives maybe at Prime. It could be, as I alluded to earlier. I don't know if Mia Culpa was based off a book or something like that, a wattpad. I don't care. I wonder if it's also maybe somebody like a screenwriter or something like that, the casting director, whoever it could be the case, is kind of like pulling the string here. That could be saying that. And the Hierophant coming up in reverse. The Hierophant doesn't always have to deal with people in robes. It can kind of deal with legal things, things not being up to right. I'm looking at you, Gabrielle. But it could also be a thing of like, when I think of the Hierophant, I think of like, the how does the people feel, the everyday person feel, what's the cultural context that's going on here. Like, you know, the big example I can give is like, excuse me y'all, think about the P Diddy trial. I feel like it was big, it was everything. Or the Epstein trial. Depending on what bubbles and circles you're in, you hear people saying, oh, Diddy shouldn't get that many years because, you know, y'all trying to judge him on being a freaky person. And it's like, okay, are you overlooking the abuse, the potential, and it seems like a habit of abusing people, abusing your power, of paying people off, keeping things secret, him being in, you know, these high places to do things? Are we overlooking that? But you feel like everybody is just focused on the freakiness. It's like, what is the cultural tone? What is the discourse of public opinion that's going on? Is also a thing here that's could be representative of the Hierophant. The High Priestess, it is coming up in the upright. To me, this is usually like trust, intuition, faith, something else. Like, yeah, trust, intuition, faith. Like hope is probably another word here that's coming up. So I don't know, maybe they're hoping or wishing and praying that public opinion, maybe they're being very watchful of public opinion or something here. Because again, there is things going on here. And then we also end on the Judgment card. Now, looking at you again, Gabriel, because I don't want you to feel hopeless if you happen to see this. The Judgment card is in the upright, so maybe it could be ruling in your favor here. Or it could be something here in regards to oh, what's happening here? Or maybe this is pointing to something of like you are feeling judged, or you know, maybe judgment will change for the better. If it is something, again, because going back to this is pretty much trying to pull and look at the film. And maybe they are like, hey, we're hearing what the public is saying. We're going to trust what they're saying, that this is probably not the best way to move forward. They nix the whole thing and go in a different direction with the Judgment card here. We have heard, we have listened, we have been here in the court of, you know, public opinion. We have gathered and conferred that the people no longer want you, and we are going to move forward. I mean, that's what it feels like it's given to me. Let's see here. Let's see if we get any more clarity here. It's funny to me, some of the same cards are coming up here. But what is going to be the outcome? What can we expect here with Mia Culpa? Let's see. Mia Culpa 2. What can we expect? What is the energies? Oh, we have the grace. No grace given, huh? Detective. The detective keep coming up throughout this reading. Look past the veil of illusion that someone is trying to pull over your eyes, that someone could be you. So examine your assumptions. See, I was taking the detective literal, but now this is making me feel like that High Priestess need to come back out again and pulling back the curtains. Take a look. I'm a boss hitter. I'm stop. Say I'm light skinned, but I'm not helping the Drake case. I'm sorry, y'all. See, look, we got to do what we can to make the better out of this, to sacrifice what we have, cut our losses, or make do with what we have and move forward. You know, make lemonade out of lemons that we have and just move forward. And then the wounded. Some people are going to be hurt by this decision or left out. It's just the game. The peacemaker is coming up first. We're not making no peace. We're making choices, decisions, and we're moving forward. We are what it called cauterizing wounds and going on about our business. We're not doing no disinfecting, no surgery. Cauterize and move on. The butterfly, the free spirit. We are not here to help you wash your image, sir. We here as a company. We have other people that we have to abide by and listen to. Oh my God. I have to look. I have to see. I have to see. Did Mia Culpa 2 come out? What's going on? I didn't look into this purposely. Is something going? Is it got bad reviews or something? What's going on? I see they got a Luca on here with no picture. The storyline y'all got for this. Oh, it dropped in 2024. Oh, okay. So I'm late. So is it a third one they supposed to be doing? See, they'll let y'all know I don't be keeping up with this. So oh, they saying, at least from what I'm getting here from SoapCentral.com, they saying the third film may end on a cliffhanger. So maybe it's gonna leave people unhappy and dissatisfied, and it's probably because of things going on personally. What did I say? This was a story from wattpad. I freaking knew it. I freaking knew it. How did I know that? That is amazing. They say they don't know if it has a release date. They expecting mid 2025. Here we are, mid 2025. Um, I yeah, I don't believe y'all. I think y'all trying to make it seem like it's all fun and games and it's nice right now. I feel like they are gonna flip the F script on the third one. I wouldn't be surprised if if they pull like a what's that movie? A Kissing Booth? What I don't know which one that was. Was it Kissing Booth 3? Where she went off to college and he went off and did something else and they were separated and you know people was hoping for a happy ending and the main couple did not end up together at the end. I would not be surprised if that's what they pulled with this. Something just feels like it's dissatisfying. Like maybe they're gonna do I can't even say Game of Thrones because the last book ain't here. Looking at you, R.R. Martin. But maybe they're gonna go off script and do something completely different from what the book had. How do I freaking know this is a Wattpad story? Y'all be reading Wattpads in South America, in Mexico. I would think y'all would be better than us Americans. I'm not gonna say like Wattpad is horrible because it does seem like it brings about some kind of good stories, but seems like some of the ones they be bringing forth is like the worst of the worst sometimes. All right, let's finish this off. What can we expect with this Mia Culpa 3? Now that I know that the second one has already come out, and maybe it's the third one that I'm thinking of. Then I'm like, is this next installment? Is it supposed to be a third one? I don't know. They gonna change something up. I feel like. And that would explain why those two, if you know, they are already done filming the third one or whatever. Um, that explains why it's like so much distance too. Good luck coming up in reverse. Ooh. I was living underwater. $50,06. Yeah, you made that. Cause you did not do your man. Clouds, distractions. That distractions is steady coming up in reverse. These were not the ones that was supposed to come out. They flipped off my finger. It was these that I was trying to stop for. We have chance. Here we go. Peace, harmony, and energy lines. Energy power lines. Let's throw these back in here. I just needed one card. Thank you so much for all the information, though. Everything wants to come out. I'm going to put these three on top so that I can refer back to them and see what it is. But we did get the yield sign here. What does this say? It says, oh, patience. I keep feeling like it's something that's delayed. What's delayed? The movie. uh, what else wanted to fall out? Possibility. It was three cards, mind you. Crown, personal power, and also dice, chance again. But the underline is messages, evil eye, protection, and destiny. To me, it just kind of feels like once they say wrap on set, they are going to be so excited to step away from each other and move on from this. Like, thank God I probably won't have to work, or at least with the current synastry of the cast, the crew that's on this, be like, thank God I won't have to work with all of you again. I just picture that Robert Downey meme where he's just like breathing out like, oh, thank God. Yeah. I don't know, you all. For you all that are looking forward to Mia Culpa 3, what y'all looking forward to? Because I don't think you're going to get it. Something about this feels dissatisfying. It feels very much like it's gonna be keyboard warriors or people out typing upset, mad that they didn't end up together, or that they did some little cheap fake out or something. I don't know. Mm. Well, I wish them luck. I don't know. I'm not invested in the movie. Like I said, I ain't even seen the person, so I can't even tell you. I ain't even know they dropped the second one. So yeah, I don't know. I think the third one's gonna make people sad, unfortunately. Now, you know another Prime story I want to do a reading on, and you let me know if you want to see a reading on this. If you all have seen, what is it, Paxton Hall? Let me know. I like that one. It is German. If you don't know, I watch a lot of foreign films and stuff. I will get into some foreign stuff quick. Let me know if you want to see a reading on that one. I would be interested in doing a reading on that myself. Mia Culpa people, I don't know. I don't wish nothing bad. I'm not saying anything bad about it. You get it, you get it. You don't, whatever. It seems to bring some people happiness because, according to what I've seen online, people have been giving both the first and the second film rave reviews. People seem very excited about them. But yeah, it seems like once this is done, they're going to be cleaning their hands and moving on from this. Like, good. I'm done and over it. I do think you probably will see, and I think I said this the first time around when I did a reading on them. I do think you're going to see Nicole doing more stuff because she just seems like she very much wants to do more. She feels very motivated to kind of like do more, and I think she's hoping to work with this director, producer, somebody on this in another project or something, maybe, or in some kind of mentorship capacity or something. I do expect to see more from her. I'm not sure about Gabriel. I don't know. It feels like there's something going on with him. And if it's not the legal matters, which I'm gonna look up after I do this because I didn't want it to influence the reading. If I didn't go in looking up everything, I do wonder what's going on with him because he does feel very distracted, not in the moment, somewhere else right now. I don't know. I wish him luck though. If that's what needs to be. I don't want to get in the way. If there's some kind of karmic lesson being served here for him to answer to, do what you got to do. That ain't none of my business. Okay. So, with all of that being said, hopefully you all like this reading. You enjoyed this reading. As I said at the beginning of this was a fan requested reading. Not a fan of me, but a fan of Mia Culpa. I'm not gonna be that big headed and say it like that, but this was definitely a requested video, couple times requested. So let me know what you think down in the comment section. Maybe you can actually add some more enlightenment, some more information to this. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of Mia Culpa 3 if I don't miss it like I did too. I wonder what's gonna come out of that. With all of that being said, I'm wishing you all a great night or day or morning wherever you are. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!